Democracy not 100-meter dash. Inec reacts to EU mission report on 2023 elections. Can you imagine? Because everything EU wrote in that report is indicting Inec, indicting APC, indicting the government of the day that organized and conducted the election. So now Inec is coming out to debunk and to defend themselves. There's no defense. There's nothing they can say about it. They failed Nigerians from head to toe, starting from voters registration process to the issuance and release of the voters card to the individuals and to the conduct of the election. Everything was zero. So the 300 billion or whatever amount of money that INEC received to conduct the election actually was fraudulent. That is the truth, because we didn't get what we paid for as Nigerians for the conduct of that election. So INEC is trying to wriggle their neck out of this EU report now by saying that democracy is not 100-meter dash. Not really. It would have been 40 meters. The Independent National Electoral Commission says Nigeria is on course to achieving optimal democracy. For how many years? Since 1960, Abi? Festus Okoye, INEC National Commissioner for Information and Voter Education, spoke on Tuesday in response to the EU Election Observation Mission's final report on the recently conducted general election. Barry Andrews, the chief observer, said the elections exposed enduring systemic weaknesses that need to be corrected. Andrews faulted INEC for the operational challenges and glitches experienced with the bimodal voter accreditation system and the result viewing portal, saying the discrepancies severely damaged public confidence in the electoral body. Perfect. Public confidence in INEC was severely damaged on 25 February due to its operational failures and lack of transparency, he said. While some corrective measures introduced before the 18th March elections seemed to have positive impact, overall trust was not restored and eventually led civil society to call for an independent audit of the entire process. That's very good. So what INEC is saying now is that change takes time. Abi? So reacting to the report, Okoye said it is unfair to judge the commission and the entirety of the polls off a few glitches. Can you imagine? They didn't do anything well in that election. There's nothing. The people just said the truth. Okay? He noted that in other reports submitted, domestic and international observers attested to the fact that in terms of voter accreditation, the BVS performed optimally. Obviously. So the question is, that is why that's why I say that you people rig the election now, because voters accreditation, it worked. Transmission of the National Assembly election result, it worked. It's only the transmission of the presidential election result that did not work, meaning it was a deliberate act to make it not to work. That is the question, and that is one they need to come and explain to Nigerians. If you look at those challenges, you must also look at the context of the elections. Also, the environment which was surrounded by, one, insecurity in so many parts of the country. Nobody can dispute that, he said. Secondly, there were also issues targeted at some of our staff and other Nigerians. You have to also look at the issues of fuel scarcity during that particular period and the issue of the Naira redesign, and also that we had significant challenges with transporters. So these are some of the issues we are going to look at. Okoye said INEC would act on the recommendations made by the EU mission. Those ones now wash. That is truth. One of the lessons that we must learn is that we must have faith in our democratic institutions. Is it every time that we have a challenge with a particular section of the Constitution that we now run to the National Assembly to amend the law? There has to be some level of fidelity. That is the only way we can progress, he said. The other issue I want to outline is that democracy is not 100-meter dash, where we as a people and a nation have to build our democratic institutions and our own democracy. You heard the chief observer say that there is democratic regression in so many countries of the world. Are we supposed to also regress? No, we have to be positive and build our own. Those who say there is nothing positive about our democracy are saying that we should swallow anti-democratic forces to take over, and or rather we should allow anti-democratic forces to take over, and nobody does that. This person Okoye was just trying to defend what is not. They failed woefully, head to toe, top to bottom in this election. There's no two ways about it. They orchestrated all the failures in favor of Tinubu and in favor of APC. That was exactly what they did. Okay. Somebody said, even when the whites observe your failure and bad conduct, you still deny it. That is how bad it is. You still deny it. Selective blindness, also known as bigotry. Exactly. So Inec failed the Nigerian people and will never be trusted again. That is it. And they can never restore that trust. Lie. Inec failed. Since your candidate lost, it means Inec failed. Nigerian people, can you imagine? We're talking about the overall process, how it was constituted, how it was implemented, and how it was concluded. That is the issue. Okay? So someone said, please be serious and drop this your ethnic sentiment. APC, Inec, and Tinubu colluded to rig the election, and that is correct. APC, Inec, and Tinubu colluded from beginning to rig the election, and that was exactly what they did. Okay, so it's a bad election in the history of the country. Be remorseful, Mr. Man. History will not forget 2023 election. Seconded by EU report, it is not looking good for Yakubu's future. Exactly. The guy, all of them failed, and there's nothing Tinubu will do now to make people be happy with him, except his sycophants or his sentimental followers. That is all. There's nothing he can do to correct this impression that has been created in this election. And the only thing that can be done is let them conduct a by-election and redo that presidential election again. Simple. And now remove the Inec chairman and have someone else to conduct that election. We know that it will cost money. Nigeria has the money. They are just stealing it. Let them bring out the money and do the election again. Someone said because only Labour Party was allowed to vote in the East, an election was rigged for Labour Party alone. How did you know? Do you have a report? So Okoye is not teaching the owners of democracy what democracy is all about. Not mine now. He is being sentimental. Okay? That's how demons will teach his generation how to suffer. Insecurity, narrow design, etc. Okay? How do all these cause these yourself induced glitches? Why are people this shameless? That is the thing. They're just looking for something to cover their face. They know they failed. They collected money to do all those nonsense, and now they're struggling to wriggle themselves out of the bad name they've created. It's an integrity issue. Inec failed woefully and should never be trusted again. The worst presidential rigging in Nigeria's history. Exactly. Because the person involved, which is Tinubu himself, was so desperate that he was ready to kill everybody and to make sure he gets it, whether they like it or not. So when it comes to ridiculing Nigerians, they pick on Igbo man. But when it comes to appointment and sharing of national cake, they forget you are existing, yet you refuse to get sense. It is not about tribe, it is about individual character. You can find a Festus Okoye in every tribe or nation of the world. Exactly. Somebody say you are right, Ola, but their own is becoming what is too much. What is too much in that? Okay, since 1999, they still need time to adjust. This is shameful. This is a very shameful one. It's not funny. Why can't people be honest for once? Why are you still talking about glitches? Exactly. Because the glitch you're talking about was man-made glitches. Even you subscribe to Amazon web services for storage and for server support, online support. And the Amazon Web Services expert has come to tell us that nothing happened to their system. They communicated, there was data transmission back and forth all over the world from the subscribers and the clients and the users of their services. It's only Inec that had the issue. So their issue is not Amazon Web Services, it's Inec. Inec knew what they did. Inec style is the more you look, the less you see. Mahmoud and all of them at Inec, especially at the headquarters, are a bunch of failures. They are only feeding fat on taxpayers' money, but God will judge them all. Okay? INEC contested election against Peter Obi. They did what they did to win by all means. Exactly. So it is obvious. There are a lot of comments here, close to 300 comments, but the fact remains that INEC failed Nigerians, and EU report has captured everything comprehensively. So thank you for listening, and let's have a comment.